In Crystal reports, it is sometimes helpful to be able to hook together or concatenate text and numbers. But the Formula Workshop doesn't like us doing it for the same reason you can't drive a car on a railroad or have a steam engine going down a highway. They're incompatible. So we have to convert usually the numerical information into text, treating it like letters instead of numbers. We can do this on the fly, and there's even a function for just this sort of problem. It's called ToText. To use it, we've started a new report from our database, and there's a table called Employees, which we've already inserted here in the Field Explorer. Contains both numerical and text information, which we want to concatenate or join together. The fields involved, firstly, will be employee ID, which is numerical, then first name and last name, which are of course text, and title, which is text as well. The actual procedure will have us creating what's called a formula field. We can right-click Formula Fields here and click on New, and then we have to give the thing a name. A name that makes sense, like ID, name, title, for the things we're going to join together, would be a good idea. We can then click OK after we type that. Brings up the Formula Workshop. To get us started, we can go up here to the function tree, expand that out, and since this is going to be a text-related function, which they refer to as a string-related thing, we open up strings, and then we can scroll down again. Here we have the function called ToText, which has no less than 5 versions. We're going to use the third one, and it works like this. First, we double-click it to drop it into the editing area, and we have to specify the numerical field which we want to convert to text. You can open up the employees table over here in the field tree and find employee ID and double-click that. Save us some typing. The second argument that it needs is going to be the number of decimal places, if any, that we want once the numbers are converted. Well, we don't want any. Since ID numbers don't need decimal places, they're integers basically, we can just type a 0 there. The third argument is what's called the thousands separator. In the US, we normally use a comma to separate thousands, millions, and billions. Some other countries use a comma as we use the decimal point and spaces to do the separation. But in this situation, we don't need any separator, so we'll type a pair of shift quotes, double quotes, instead. And that takes care of the basic conversion. From there, the rest of the formula is pretty straightforward. What we want after that is going to require some concatenation. We use pluses to do that. We can throw in a hyphen between double quotes to hook that onto the name of the individual. We can then put in the first name field, and after which we can even put in a number 1 in square brackets to indicate we only want to use their first initial, first letter, or first character of the field. But if we're going to do that, we should concatenate a period and a space, because if this is going to be an initial, well, we want a period there. Another plus for the concatenation. Throw in the last name field, and then maybe another joining up of hyphen and quotes and so on here to separate this information from the title. One last plus for the final bit of concatenation, and the title field can be double-clicked over there. And that pretty much takes care of our formula field. We can check to see that the code is clean by clicking the check button here. Should be good. Save and close to get out of the Formula Workshop. And then we can just drag the ID name title field right over here to the beginning of the detail space. And finally, when we go up here and do a print preview, we see that the only thing we now have to do is maybe widen out the fields so that we can read everybody's full name and title. And that's got it. The key point is, in most programs, not just Crystal reports, joining text and number field data often cannot be done directly because they're fundamentally different kinds of information. But conversion is usually fairly easy, regardless of the method, and Crystal reports at least gives us a function to do it in a straightforward way.